the proletarian revolution in Zambia. What must be done? Fellow Zambian citizens, compatriots, the workers, peasants, the proletariat and all allied strata. In this address, I discuss the proletarian or workers' revolution in Zambia, how it can be organized and what must be done. We must win the forthcoming presidential and general elections slated for August 2026. From the onset, I submit a united and solid proletariat or working class, fully supported by the peasant farmers, craftsmen, informal sector artisans, blacksmiths, marketeers, and all the marginalized people in the informal sector, the students, the youths, women, and all other toiling and exploited masses. That these are unstoppable and will secure political power and change the order of things for the good of all the Zambian people come 2026. For there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet, what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? In our hands, as the workers and peasants and all supporting strata, is placed a power greater than the mighty of armies, magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth a new world, I dare say a new Zambia, from the ashes of the old. These laconic lines, borrowed from the famous Workers' Solidarity Anthem, sung over centuries of protracted workers' struggle to emancipate themselves from exploitation, remain valid to this day. Nothing is difficult or extraordinary about changing the political direction of this country if the workers and the peasants and the other supporting groups are united. Under the uncompromising and unshakable leadership and direction of the Progressive Labour Congress PLC, the Progressives, Zambia will be transformed radically to bring about a new Zambian person or being. Indeed, as envisaged by our founding father of the nation, Kenneth David Kaunda, who taught us to love fellow human beings not for their material possessions, but because they are simply human and God's creation like ourselves. We are the perpetrators of that noble vision and are proud to consider and declare ourselves the new disciples of Kenneth Kaunda's socialist and humanist teachings and values and world outlook. We are a political party, not for contented or satisfied people, but a party meant to gather in all those Zambians who are suffering from profound anxiety and can find no peace, those who are unhappy and have been treated badly now and in the past, and have fallen victims to reckless government social and economic policies, such as the famous ill-fated structural adjustment program implemented in the early 1990s. From those workers' immense sufferings, torture, deprivations, and early deaths will rise a formidable workers' movement that will plant its roots deeper among the Zambian masses and eliminate all social distress, and in turn promote their all-round economic, social, cultural well-being and development. Fellow Zambian compatriots and Zambian proletariat, earlier we talked about transforming Zambia to bring about a new Zambian person. To achieve this lofty goal, our party will advance a national moral code whose principles and rules of behavior are aimed at re-educating and guiding people's notions of good and evil, honor and dishonor, justice and injustice. These are: 1. Dedication to non-capitalist way of life, socialism, and devotion to humanist motherland, Zambia. 2. Conscientious work for the benefit of society. He who does not work, neither shall he eat. 3. Concern for safeguarding and multiplying social wealth. 4. A lofty sense of civic duty and intolerance of actions harmful to public interest. 5. Collectivism and camaraderie, mutual assistance. One in all and all for one. 6. Honesty and integrity, moral purity, simplicity, modesty in social and private life. 7. Humane relations and mutual respect between peoples. Man is to man a friend, comrade, and brother or sister. 8. Mutual respect in the family and concern for the upbringing of the children. 9. An uncompromising attitude to injustice, parasitism, dishonesty, careerism, and money grabbing or mongering. 10. Friendship and brotherhood among all the peoples of our motherland, Zambia. 11. An uncompromising attitude to the enemies of socialist and humanist teachings, peace and freedom of our country. 12. Fraternal solidarity with the working people of the countries of the world. Fellow Zambians, compatriots, workers, peasants, women, students, and youths, and the proletariat at large. The task before us when building a new Zambian nation or society is formidable, and we shall need your full support, the people of Zambia, if we are to succeed. We therefore invite you to campaign on our side and for our candidates in the 2026 general elections. This movement, unfortunately, cannot recruit its membership from hostile bourgeois and petty bourgeois elements whose whole mentality would only help to paralyze the efforts of our campaigns. Our movement must be marked by the devotion and even intolerance with which our members fight or champion our cause. We must be convinced beyond any doubt that our cause alone is just, and therefore be able to carry the struggle through to its successful end against all other organizations or political parties in the same field. The movement must and will indeed educate its members on the party's declared principles, which serve as the bedrock and the only basis upon which all would-be members are tested for their loyalty and commitment before they are invited or admitted to the party to become members by the respective party organs. The Progressive Labour Congress, as an ideological party, places a very high premium on membership, because when the party forms government, only those distinguished and highly committed members will participate in the running of that government and therefore eligible to be appointed to various offices. In other words, high flyers, no matter how plastered they are with academic and professional qualifications, be it certificates, degrees, diplomas, etc., these will not be considered outside their party membership or affiliation. Participation in the struggle and commitment to the overall party programs. So we invite you to join us now. All members must regard protracted struggle as a necessary evil or vacation, and as something to be desired in itself. They must not be afraid to be subjected to hostile acts by their adversaries, but must take it as a necessary condition on which their whole right of existence is based. They must not shun to being hated by those who are the enemies of our class and heritage, and our socialist and humanist world outlook. They must be ready to face lies and innuendos as part of the crude methods by which the enemy will employ to express his chagrin. Fellow Zambians, compatriots, and the Zambian proletariat at large, our struggle as a pro-labor party is to champion and establish in Zambia, from the economic point of view, a non-capitalist democracy which is socialist in character, which is a reliable guarantee for ensuring equality among the people and genuine freedom. Under this system, the workers, peasants, and the allied strata will participate not only in casting their votes, but also run for office as members of parliament or councillors, and therefore truly take part in the running of their government. The Progressive Labour Congress PLC, the progressives in government, will abolish, if not substantially reduce, all nomination fees, grades 12 school certificate, English as the sole official language, and all other inhibiting and discriminatory requirements which only go to exclude the majority of our people from actively participating in the so-called democratic dispensation of our country. A democracy where the majority can only be valued for their casting vote or ballot, but cannot run for office themselves due to impediments placed arbitrarily against them by the agents of the ruling class and supported by imperialist forces, is a false democracy. Invariably, it amounts to a dictatorship of the privileged few, wealthy and propertied persons in Zambia, who are running the affairs of the country and exploiting the majority of the poor people. Fellow Zambians, compatriots, and the proletariat, we want to be very clear from the very beginning. We will de-Englishanize our workers' government and its institutions, in particular Parliament and National Assembly, local councils, and recognize our indigenous languages as alternative official languages to be spoken freely in this forum. In this way and by this act, we will surely give hope and meaning to all our people, in particular the ordinary workers, the peasants, the craftsmen, marketeers, women, students, and the youths, and indeed all the marginalized groups of our people who are in the majority, to take part in the governance and running of their beloved motherland. This is what is at stake and what we will be fighting for in the 2026 general elections. We will be fighting for true democracy. To achieve these desired results, this is what we must do now up to that time. 1. Mobilize ourselves in our cities, towns, bomas, districts, provinces, wards, constituencies, farms, villages, settlements, offices, factories, and indeed our homes, and form campaign units, workers' popular detachments, students, youth groups, women, shock teams, all geared towards winning the upcoming elections. We must build for ourselves a lethal and highly efficient campaign machine that will deliver an overwhelming superiority of forces at a decisive point and a decisive moment, which is the presidential and general elections in August 2026. We must conscientize the workers, the peasants, and indeed the proletariat at large to ignore those who come from the city in their big cars with money bags, who offer themselves as our saviors, but only end up at deceiving us and stealing our votes as they return to the city once elected and never return until their tenure of office has ended. Let us elect those who live with us in our communities because they share the pain with us when they cannot find their way to the village because there are no roads, or when their relatives die because there are no health facilities nearby, or no medicines in the hospitals or clinics. Let us reject those candidates who flaunt their wealth and engage in corrupt tendencies by offering us momentary gifts of chitenge, t-shirt, bicycle, money tokens, etc., because they are not genuine friends of the poor. Their mission is to take advantage of us so that they are sent to Parliament, where they hope to gain more privileges, such as government contracts, to increase their wealth at our expense. 5. Let us not be cheated by some self-appointed opinion makers, either in the traditional or church leadership, about whom we should vote for, but remain loyal to ourselves as a working class and our mission, which is to secure political power and send as many as possible of our own stock to Parliament and local councils, so that indeed we attain true democracy in Zambia and change this country for the good of all. Fellow Zambians, compatriots, workers, peasants, and the proletariat, and all allied strata, the Progressive Labour Congress, the Progressives, submits therefore that the above tasks can be achieved by our party members, adherents, and sympathizers alike, provided we unequivocally do the following between now and the elections. 1. We must keep in close touch with the Zambian masses. 2. We must live close to them. 3. We must know their moods. 4. We must know everything about them. 5. We must understand the Zambian masses. 6. We must be able to approach them. 7. We must win their absolute trust. 8. We must not flatter the Zambian masses, nor break away from them. Without these conditions, discipline in the Revolutionary Party, really capable of being the party of the advanced class, whose mission is to wrestle or secure political power from the bourgeoisie and transform the whole of the Zambian society, cannot be achieved, or rather would remain a pipe dream. On the other hand, these conditions would not emerge at once. They are to be created only by our prolonged effort and hard-won experience. Their creation is facilitated by a correct revolutionary theory, which in its turn is not a dogma, but assumes final shape only in close connection with the practical activity of a truly mass and a truly revolutionary movement, which our party, the Progressive Labour Congress PLC, the Progressives, represents. Thank you, and may God bless Mother Zambia. Long live the Zambian workers. The peace